I read somewhere that Joni Lamb is worth $40 million, which is mind-blowing in itself. But what's even more shocking is the accusation from Jonathan that she allegedly used $100,000 of Daystar funds to pay for her 2023 honeymoon with her new husband, Doug Weiss. At a board meeting on August 23, 2023, Jonathan Lamb voiced his strong objection to Daystar covering the cost of Joni Lamb's honeymoon. According to Jonathan, at the time, the Daystar board consisted of only 3 members, himself, Joni, and attorney Tom Callender. In response to Jonathan's objections, Callender reportedly decided to gift the approximately $100,000 honeymoon expense to Joni from Daystar funds. Now, in a 36-minute video released Tuesday night, Joanie took the time to address these claims directly. She outright denied it, saying, "Absolutely not. Not one penny of Daystar's money was used for our honeymoon."
By the way, there are questions about, it's all over the internet, that Daystar paid $100,000 for my
Yes, I
honeymoon.
was getting ready to ask you about that.
So, absolutely not. Not one penny of Daystar's money was used for our honeymoon. We paid for our honeymoon, okay? So, again, that's another lie that's out there.
Right.
That's her side of the story, but it doesn't erase the bigger issue. How does a minister justify spending that kind of money on a honeymoon, regardless of where the funds came from? The Roy's report, TRR, has obtained 2 Daystar expense reports showing that Joni Lamb charged approximately $100,000 to her Daystar credit card for a resort in Los Cabos, Mexico, where she and Doug Weiss honeymooned. Adding fuel to the controversy, former Daystar Vice President Jonathan Lamb disclosed to TRR that when he raised objections to the honeymoon charges at an August 2023 Daystar board meeting, where Joni was present, board member Tom Callender made the decision to gift the $100,000 for the honeymoon to Joni. Now, let's break this down. Even if the expense was later classified as a gift, it doesn't change the fact that Daystar resources were initially used for the charges. This revelation raises significant questions about how Daystar funds are being handled and whether there's proper accountability within the organization. Jonathan Lamb revealed that it's possible Joni Lamb has since reimbursed Daystar for the honeymoon expenses, particularly now that the information has gone public. However, he also noted that the last time he had oversight over Daystar's finances was November 16, 2023, when the Roy's report reached out to Daystar asking for documentation to confirm whether Joni reimbursed the ministry and when that reimbursement occurred. Daystar responded with a statement but did not provide any supporting documents. In their email, Daystar wrote, "All charges by Joni Lamb on a corporate credit card that are personal expenses are fully accounted for and reimbursed in full by Joni Lamb. This has been and will always be the accounting practice at Daystar. Daystar's finances are subjected to an independent third-party audit by an accounting firm on an annual basis." However, when TRR immediately followed up, asking again for proof of reimbursement and the date it occurred, Daystar did not provide any further response. TRR also reviewed Joni Lamb's corporate expense reports, uncovering significant charges for stays at Ventanas al Paraíso, a luxury resort in Los Cabos, Mexico, where Joni and her husband Doug Weiss spent their honeymoon in July 2023. October 2022. Joni's expense report shows a charge of $36,780.32 for the resort, with a note indicating Ms. Joni Lamb and Mr. Doug Weiss use U.S. Bank rebate points May 2022. Another charge for $60,041.68 was recorded for the same resort with a similar note. Jonathan Lamb, whose role at the time included approving expense reports, explained that the honeymoon was paid for in advance using a company credit card. The lack of documentation from Daystar, combined with these expense reports, leaves more questions than answers. While Daystar claims Joni reimbursed the charges, the absence of proof casts doubt on the transparency of their accounting practices. If reimbursement truly occurred, why not simply provide the documents and put the matter to rest? This isn't just about whether or not Joni eventually paid back the charges. It's about how a ministry leader's personal spending reflects on the integrity of the organization. The fact that such exorbitant charges were made on a corporate credit card at all raises serious concerns about financial stewardship, especially in a ministry funded by viewer donations. On September 26, 2023, Jonathan met with Callender, Daystar CFO Arnold Torres and attorney John Lynch to discuss his concerns about his mother's leadership and other issues within the ministry. During the meeting, Jonathan once again mentioned his objections to Daystar paying for Joni's honeymoon and other personal expenses. Jonathan also shared his frustration with Joni's comments during a recent show where she implied that one of her challenges was dealing with people who wouldn't submit to her leadership. Reflecting on this, Jonathan emailed Joni, stating, "Mom, I've always submitted to you even when I don't agree. I didn't agree that Daystar paid your $100,000 honeymoon. I didn't agree that Daystar paid $5,500 for Rachel's personal photography expenses. I didn't agree with Doug being the host of Ministry Now, but I've submitted to that. The only place I draw the line is the Word of God. I will never compromise the Word of God." Interestingly, no one on the meeting recording contested Jonathan's assertion that Daystar paid for the honeymoon. Jonathan also revealed concerns about Joni's use of Daystar's private jet. According to the Trinity Foundation, the jet made 24 round-trip flights between Fort Worth, Texas, and Colorado Springs, Colorado, from October 2022 to May 2024. These trips coincided with Joni's relationship with Doug Weiss, who is from Colorado Springs. The couple reportedly began dating in August 2022, shortly before the flight started. Additionally, the jet made 13 round-trip flights to Destin, Florida during the same period. In September 2023, Joni and Doug purchased a beach condo near Destin for $2.9 million, as reported by the Trinity Foundation. The total estimated cost of these flights was a staggering $769,220. Here's the thing, these revelations aren't just about allegations of misusing ministry resources, they point to bigger questions about accountability and leadership at Daystar. When you hear about a $100,000 honeymoon, frequent private jet trips, and a $2.9 million beach condo, it starts to feel less like ministry and more like personal indulgence. Daystar depends on donor funds, and that's what makes this so troubling. Ministries are supposed to use those resources to spread the gospel, support missions, and serve communities, not bankroll extravagant lifestyles. Jonathan Lamb really hit the nail on the head when he said the integrity of the Word of God must remain uncompromised. This situation isn't just about money, it's about trust. These allegations demand more than just words. They require real actions to restore faith in Daystar's leadership and ensure proper accountability. If Daystar doesn't step up with transparency, they risk losing the trust of their donors and tarnishing the credibility of Christian leadership as a whole.